Hey, welcome to the table. Pull up a chair. So I'm learning about this social media thing, right? And what's the best way to do things, and what the approaches are. And there's no set formula, but it seems like there is. And my in my mind, it's just show up authentically as who you are, right? It was scary at first because I wasn't sure about what I wanted to do, and would people really listen to what I have to say? Would it even reach anyone I wanted it to reach? All right. And then I had to kind of get out of my own way, because often in life we find ourselves getting in our own way when we have certain goals and any plans that we have for ourselves. We set out to do something like go on a trip, or one day I'm going to do this and one day I want to do that, but I have to wait till I have XYZ in place before I can even do it, right? The days, as we all know, they get shorter and shorter the longer we are alive, right? Our years are not, you know, infinite years. Tomorrow is never promised for anyone. Heck, the next hour is not even promised for anyone, right? So if you get the idea and the thought that you want to do something, instead of sitting in it for so long to the point of, pushing things aside because you want it to be perfect, to the point of time going by and then you're looking back, oh, I wish I had done, or I should have done, you know, take that moment in the moment that you're in right now, and you get that idea and start to do something to get to that point as soon as you can. Because as I said before, tomorrow is not promised. Just do the thing that you want to do. Don't worry about other people, because at the end of the day, if you're doing something that's making you happy, something that is not detrimental to anyone else or to you, do the thing. Do the thing. You'll find that you might enjoy doing it. You also might find that, hey, it's not something I want to do, right? Because oftentimes when I talk with clients, they look at me and say, oh, I want to do this, but I don't know how so and so is going to react, or I don't know what the outcome is going to be. We can't control the outcome of anything, right? But what we can do is figure out, well, what can I do now to kind of ensure that the possibility of getting what I want will occur? Because often when we say, oh, we'll wait, we find that we, one, not only do lose time, but two, we miss out on the opportunity or even the possibility of achieving whatever it is we want to achieve, right? So let's say you want to write a book. If you want to write a book, start writing a little bit every day. This is a message to myself too. So I have to remind myself that, the writing's not going to get done. There won't be a finished product if I don't actually sit down and write. Okay. So the same goes with my state of mind and reframing the way that I think about things. Each day we wake up, we have ideas of what we want to get done, and then we have all these long lists. Sometimes we create these long lists that become so overwhelming, and it stops us in our tracks. So it gets so long that we're like, we don't know what to do, so we're just not going to do anything. That's a lot of what happens with feeling overwhelmed and with overthinking and anxiety, right? They get to the point of there's so much they need to get done. They don't know how to do it. They don't know what steps to take, that it comes to the point of like incapacitation sometimes, right? They're like, oh, I don't need to, I don't know what to do, so I'm just not going to do anything. And then they become kind of complacent in that stance instead of trying to figure out, okay, well, what is the one thing I can actually get done today? Yes, I want to accomplish XYZ goal in a week, in a year, in a month. And that's far off and you can't see the possibility of even getting there. But if you don't take that step, it won't matter. You won't get there, and then it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay. I often tell my clients who want to make changes and want to start something that I use the analogy of a race, right? You can't win a race if you don't start running when the gun goes off. When the starter gun goes off, if you don't move, you're never going to make it to the finish line in time. And you're never going to make it to the finish line if you just stay there, right? I thought that was a good analogy to use, and I often use it because it makes so much more sense in my mind. And it's a great way to visualize, our words and our thoughts and our ambitions and our goals. Like if we have a specific goal, they're going to take little steps to get there, right? Sometimes we have a goal and we want it to happen just like that. It's like sometimes it's the case with therapy too. People like come in and they want to be healed like that, and it doesn't happen. It takes work and it takes different steps. It's going to take intentionality each and every day in order to achieve some level of success. Every small step you take is progress, right? And in order to do the things you want to do without worrying so much about other people, you have to take some steps, small ones. You can't climb a whole staircase without taking the first step, and people sometimes forget that, right? Everything is a little cog in the wheel of progress, and the process is very sometimes linear for some, but either way, no matter what you do, you have to take a small step to do the thing that you want to do. All right. So my message to you is this: if you have a goal, if you have an idea, if you have a plan, and you're worried about who might be thinking what, or if people might perceive you a certain way, or anything like that, do the thing. Just do the thing. I had to learn, in order to move forward and get past that paralysis that you feel, that paralysis. Analysis paralysis is something that people often experience too, and you sit so long in the analysis of what you're going to need to do, what the outcomes would be, and trying to forecast the plans and the money that you might make if you're looking to make money, and how are you going to best do this, and so is doing it this way, and so is we sit in that for so long sometimes that time passes us by and we don't even notice, right? And so we never really get the chance to do the thing. And then let's say you're pretty young when you have this idea, then you finally meet someone, and then you get married, and then now kids are in the picture. When are you going to find time to do the thing that you wanted to do? And oftentimes with some of my clients who are married and who are parents, they look back and they're like, man, I should have done this before. I should have done this back when I was single and I had time, because now your time is going to be fractured, and it's going to be out to all these different avenues that you have, right? So do the thing. My message to you: do the thing. If you don't like the outcome of the thing, then you might learn, hey, maybe this isn't what I wanted to do. Or you might learn, hey, this is how I did it before. Now, how can I do it in a different way so that I can achieve the goal that I want to achieve, right? Not everything that comes up is a way to say, don't do this, or to abandon an idea. It's just a way of change. You got to look at it as a way of changing direction. So you reframe that way of looking at things, and I'm not saying, oh, positive thinking for everything. It's just that when something occurs in our lives, we have to decide which way we want to go. Everything we do in life, it requires a choice, an intentional choice. By not choosing, you're making a choice. And then being deliberate and intentional in what you do is also making a choice, right? So I actually told a client today that was worried about something, about a potential thing in the future. And I said, whenever you approach a situation, any kind of situation that comes up, or any kind of conflict that you face, or potential conflict that could occur, since you can't control the future, you can control your thoughts, feelings, and reactions, and your behaviors to the different situations and circumstances around you, right? So prepare yourself, focus on you. Okay, if X happens, how will I be able to navigate it well enough that I can still function, right? So if you get what you want, how can I move forward in that? And if you don't get what you want, then how can I manage the emotions that go with that so I can pivot and go the way that I want to go, instead of allowing it to paralyze you and keep you stuck in a state of negativity and angst and anger and frustration, right? Because we're not always going to get what we want, right? But in doing the steps that we need to take, we can accomplish the thing that we want to accomplish. So do the thing, people. Go out there and do the thing. If any of this resonates with you, like, subscribe, and share this video, and I'll see you at the table next time.